Yesterday, 16 summonses were discharged for the reasons that were given. As we continue to tidy up the loose end of this Commission of Inquiry, we are back here this morning on the 67th day of hearing to continue with that process. But without further ado, for looking at all those items appear on our daily diary, Council, please take us through this morning. Thank you.
Three matters on today's list are returnable for they're returnable for, the first one is returnable for submissions, and the second one is being for mention only. I note the presence of Mr. Malvertimus. If I could just let him, or we'll let him enter his appearance before I mention the matters.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Sisting. Again, for the record, Varitimos is my name, Varitimos, initials MM. I appear with my learned friend, Mr. Ovore, EVORE, initial L, for Curtin Brothers Holdings NG Limited and Ballymore number 39 Limited, if the Commission pleases.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. If I may mention item number 1, that is leave application number 9, filed by Kupu Gavara and Namori Horsberg. Mr. Uyase is present this morning, so if I could invite him to the bar table. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning again, Mr. Commissioner. Council's name is Uyase, initial S, appearing for the
Good morning.
for Namori Horsberg and Ikupu Gavara.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner. Like I mentioned, this matter returns for submissions today, but given yesterday's developments, that is the the objections given to us by the lawyers for Curtin Brothers and Ballymore number 39 Limited, which we are still working on to produce a response to them. That would mean that this application will have to be adjourned to preferably Monday, as we propose, to allow the objections in relation to these applications to be settled before the application is actually heard, Commissioner. So if I could get a direction for this matter to be adjourned to Monday, the 27th of February, 2023 at 10 a.m.
Thank you, Council.
I have no objections to the date, Mr. Commissioner.
Are we comfortable with this? I'm giving the direction that this application will be now adjourned to Monday, the 27th of February at 10 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner. If Mr. Uyazi could be excused.
Thank you for your presence this morning. You can be excused from the bar stand. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner, item number 2 on the list is a fresh application for leave. That's filed by Sogosiai of the Vadio Daure ILG, Araira, Tatana Village. Commissioner, Mr. Sogosiai is not present this morning, but we'll have this matter adjourned to tomorrow for hearing of the leave application.
Any reason why he's not here this morning?
Commissioner, I'm not sure, but I did inform him yesterday that his matter would be listed for mention today.
Okay. So you're seeking direction that it will be adjourned
To tomorrow for the leave application to be heard.
Mr. Commissioner, could I just be heard? Mr. Commissioner, could I just be heard on this?
Yes.
As I understand it, this is just a new application that's been lodged, and we actually haven't seen it, the documents. So I'm just raising with council assisting. Could those documents be provided to Mr. Avori at the end of this hearing today? Because we haven't seen them.
Thank you, Councillor Varitimus, for the point of reference. Council?
Yes, that's one of the reasons why we're seeking an adjournment to tomorrow. And in the
Yes.
meantime, we'll produce the leave application to the lawyers for Curtin Brothers. Yeah, we could give a copy of the application to Mr. Avora at the end of the hearing.
Thank you. So that's the clarification. The application will be served to ashes by 4:06, before 4:06 this afternoon. Is that right?
Just at the end of the hearing, Commissioner.
Or at
It's
the
a-
end of
it's a
the end of
short-
the hearing, you'll be served with a document.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Commissioner.
Thank you.
Commissioner, Commissioner, before I move on to item number 3,
Yes.
if I could just sort out a few matters here. Firstly, in relation to, you will note the absence of Mr. Guerrero this morning. He's advised that he's attending to final compilation of the documents in relation to KCHL to be produced to ASHES or to have been produced yesterday. But he's given an undertaking that he's going to produce those documents by 12 noon today, and he's asked me to ask for a direction accordingly. Well, effective in extension of the direction given yesterday to be to 12 noon today, Commissioner.
Yeah. Mr. Commissioner,
Yes,
as Mr. Kipper indicated, yeah, apologies, Mr. Commissioner, as Mr. Kipper indicated, the documents still haven't been provided. You made a direction last year they be provided, they haven't. You've made several other directions. Obviously, they still haven't been provided. We obviously need them urgently so we can consider them and work out our response as may be appropriate. We can't do anything about effectively the extension because they haven't been provided, but we asked Mr. Commissioner, you indicated in the strongest possible terms that they must be delivered by noon today, and my clients continue to reserve their position in relation to the late provision and prejudice that may flow from it. But it just can't keep going on like this, Mr. Commissioner. You make very clear, distinct directions, and they need to be complied with.
Thank you, Councillor Varitimus. I'm fully aware of that, and I must reaffirm my directive that I've issued as of yesterday, that this document and with this direction must be complied with, and it must be urgently delivered by 12 noon today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner. And there's another aspect that I'd like to raise, and that is the objections. So objections were made very urgently by us in response to material. We've had a conversation with Mr. Kipper before the hearing today because the objections were anticipated by now, but they haven't been received. So, as I understand it, council assisting have split between the two of them the consideration of the objections that we made, and Mr. Kipper indicated that he would be able to get the 5 of the landowners' objections responses by close of business today, and he was going to speak to Mr. Guerrero about the time frame for him. Perhaps Mr. Kipper could just clarify what the position is in response to council's assisting responses to the objections.
Thank you, Council Varetimus. Council Assisting.
Yes, Commissioner, we did indicate yesterday that we were going to produce a response to the objections by 12 noon today. And for my part, we'll split the work. And for my part, I can produce my responses by the end of today. But I think, and this just came to mind, I want to run that by Mr. Guerrero first before I actually send the responses to Ashurst. Hence, I will ask for an extension of the deadline for a response from 12 noon today to probably 10 a.m. or 12 noon tomorrow. I'm not sure what Mr. Varetimus' position is now that the discussions are a little bit different. We said that I was going to produce my part by 4 or 6 today and ask if Mr. Guerrero can produce his responses by 10 a.m. tomorrow. But obviously, I can't say anything on behalf of Mr. Guerrero. I leave that up to the Commission, but I would ask for an extension for the responses to be done by 12 tomorrow. That's the position. To be on the safe side, I haven't been in touch with Mr. Guerrero in relation to this. I mean, especially the deadline aspect, extension of the deadline aspect of it yet. So that's my submissions.
Thank you, Council Assisting. Council Varetimus.
Yeah, Mr. Commissioner, we received vast material late last Friday. We received more material from the landowners during the week, including 4:30 p.m. the day before we made the objections. We're all under a tight time frame. There is no reason why council assisting, there's 2 of them working on the process, they can't respond to the objections by 10 a.m. at the latest tomorrow. So if you're minded to make a direction, it should be that the responses to the objections be provided by no later than 10 a.m. And if they're ready earlier, including some of the objections, because we understand Mr. Kipper is well advanced with the objections, if he's got them ready this afternoon, we would appreciate it receiving those this afternoon. We don't have to receive all of them for the whole 10 landowners at the same time. So we say that if there is an extension, it shouldn't be past 10 a.m. and we're relying on the goodwill of my learned friends, council assisting, that if they're ready before then, they will give them to us, or some of them.
Thank you, Council Varetimus. Council Assisting.
I have no problems with 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Thank you. I think we need to get that in order very quickly, and as been suggested by the Council Assisting, not later than 10 a.m. tomorrow, and in between now, this document must be delivered forthwith. That's the affirmation that I'm giving now based on the earlier direction. And I thank you, Council Varetimus, for that. We are to ensure that this document is served on you so that it does not distract the process of what we are going through at this present time. We have very limited time, and I must stress that we need to get on with the business of coming to end this inquiry on the duration of the extension. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Commission pleases. Commissioner, if I may mention item number 3 formally.
Yes.
Commissioner, that's in relation to a direction which I'm going to ask for, and that is in the terms that any further application for leave to appear in this commission shall be filed by no later than 4:06 on Thursday, the 23rd of February, 2023, Commissioner. And Commissioner, we're obviously trying to wrap up this inquiry, and we've given more than enough time to interested parties to file their applications to appear in this commission. And time is of the essence. We're trying to deal with all the leave applications and get the relevant evidence heard. And we only have a few weeks to do that. And we consider that this application is necessary to ensure that this commission is on track to produce its final report to the Prime Minister. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. In addition to the comments by Council assisting, I will give a direction to that effect. But at the same time, it is also disappointing that those, especially the landowners group that you're supposed to present yourself in relation to your application, I have observed that there is no seriousness in the way you attend to that. And as I have always stressed right from the beginning, that if you have a particular interest in this inquiry, and if you think that you have substance that you're going to demonstrate to that effect, then you need to be present at the hearing. Not just coming along and drop in an application and the next day you don't turn up. That's not how it works. And we are going through these passages of when we are putting all those information together as per our roadmap. I'll be very, very strict on this roadmap, and that's the reason why in granting this directive, the Commission directs that any further applications for leave to appear must be filed by Thursday, which is tomorrow, 2023, at 4 p.m. or before that. Any application after that won't be accepted as per this direction. So that's the direction that I'm giving, Council assisting for this one. Thank you.
Commissioner, those are today's matters. No further matters from me, unless there's any remarks Commissioner would like to make. I'd like to ask for the proceedings to be adjourned to tomorrow, Commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. Just to recap what I just mentioned earlier on, these directives that I've issued in relation to all those documents that needs to be served comply with the time and the expectancy of the documents that are received on the other side. I cannot come back to deal with that, but we just have to comply with that and get on with the business of getting this document through. Thank you. With that, I have no other issues to deal with this morning. We have a lot of issues to deal with tomorrow, and until we return back tomorrow, as I said, you can now adjourn all the matters to 10 a.m. tomorrow. Thank you.
Commissioner of Inquiry now stands adjourned.